I feel like she's just a middleman, like literally, because she would just talk to the vice president. He would tell her what to say, and then she would repeat the same. She would copy and paste whatever he said and say it to us. She had no idea about like the code, what our software even did. Like she never learned it. She was really just there to tell us what to do.
Kick it, kick it, kick it.
All right. Welcome back to the Computer Keys channel. I am Marquise. Today we're back with another episode of the My Tech Story interview series. This is something that I started to show that it's a lot of different lanes you could get into, a lot of different paths you could take, in this tech industry. So today I got Christian with me. We've been trying to set this joint up for
It's been a month. It's been a month.
Right, pretty much. But I think it was through the gram.
Yeah.
Where I peeped that you did you're a developer, right?
Yeah, software developer. I had just started at my new job.
But you went to ESU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know that. Like, do we have?
Yeah.
I feel like we might have had classes together, but I don't know. What year were you?
I graduated 2018, but I graduated.
2018.
I started there in 2015.
Okay, yeah, I started 2012, and then
Okay.
I was supposed to graduate 2016, but I ended up graduating in 2017.
Yeah, I was supposed to graduate 2017. I graduated.
I feel like, yo, don't they call that Joe? Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I was about to say exactly that. Extra semester university. That's for real though.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's crazy. So I just happened. I don't know if you posted a story or what, but that's how people.
They had like sent out a new hire thing, like with my name, like a brief introduction. I posted it on Instagram, and then you saw it.
All right, that's all. Yeah. No, I'm glad though. I'm glad you posted that because you don't got much on your page, so I wouldn't even know. And then I definitely don't remember if we had like classes or not. But
I feel like we didn't. I would remember because I remember.
That's what I'm saying.
Keith used to live with Keith, right? Because Keith used to cut my hair.
Yeah, I used to be with Keith a lot. Yeah.
So I would have remembered you.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, but either way, I appreciate you doing this, John. I'm glad we stumbled upon it. Whatever. But yeah, so we gonna get started. I just want to get into a little bit about you. So my notes. By now, you would think I know this, John. So we're gonna start with your name, age, location, hometown, race, ethnicity, a fun fact, and then like fun facts, and then like interests outside of tech. You don't got to remember everything. I'll keep you on track.
Right,
like, that's what we're gonna start with.
Can you hear this? This dog chewing on his bone underneath me.
I can hear a little bit, but it's cool.
Okay. So I'm Christian Castro. I'm 28. I live in Berlin, New Jersey, which is like near Cherry Hill, Mount Laurel. But my hometown is Vineland, New Jersey, which is the biggest city in New Jersey. It's where Welch's grape juice started. I guess that's a fun fact. But yeah, what else you say?
So you say you're in Jersey.
Yeah.
Are you from Jersey?
Yeah, I've been here since 2018. What am I talking about? 2002.
All right.
Yeah. And
I was about to say, where did you before that?
Yeah. I say like 2002. My mom moved us here from Georgia. Before that, I don't know where the hell we were. We moved around a lot.
Did you you grew up in Georgia? Like, were you born in Georgia?
No, I was born in Puerto Rico.
Oh wow.
My dad was in the military, so.
Okay.
Bro, why do you have to shoot us here? He just wants to shoot it underneath me for some reason.
It's all good.
I grew up. I was born in Puerto Rico. My dad was in the military, so they're always moving around or whatever. I think they were in Texas for a little bit. I don't know, but I just remember what I remember is being in Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. We moved to Vineland, and then I've basically been there ever since.
All right, that's kind of crazy though. How long?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you just was born in Puerto Rico. You probably didn't spend too much time there if you don't really remember it.
Nah, yeah, I didn't really spend too much time there. Like both my parents are Puerto Rican, so like they were living there, so that's why I was there.
Oh, but, okay.
I don't really remember like living in Puerto Rico. My earliest memories are from Georgia.
Do you go back a lot?
I would say like, huh?
You go back a lot?
I went 2 years ago, and that was the first time I had since like 2004. So,
damn, you gotta go back more often.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go this Christmas.
Oh, that would be tough.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be nice down there too.
Yeah, hopefully, it should be.
But no, I think it's really cool to know where you from, like know where your people's from.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know what I'm saying? I think you should definitely get in touch with that for sure.
Yeah, I've been trying to. Because I know, like, growing up here, I don't get much of it.
Mhm.
Even though, Vineland has a lot of Puerto Ricans, but I don't know, I feel like it's not the same.
No, nothing gonna be like going back
Yeah,
to, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like nothing gonna be like that. But that's tough. That's definitely a fun fact too. I
yeah,
never would have guessed that.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people think I'm just black, but I'm black Puerto
Right.
Rican.
Yeah, I definitely thought that. So like outside of tech or outside of work, what type of stuff are you interested in?
Like, I used to run track. I don't know if you knew that, but I ran track at
I
ASU.
did know that. I did know
Yeah,
that.
so I like sports. I like working out.
Mm,
I'm doing like fantasy football and stuff. But I got a motorcycle. I'll be riding my motorcycle.
yeah.
I be playing just like playing video games.
Mm.
I like hiking. I be going out with my dog, playing hiking and shit. Then can I curse?
No, yeah, be you.
Uh,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So I mean, I guess I like being. Lately, I just like being outside.
Mm.
Either whether that's like doing something or just actually like outside with my dog or like in nature or whatever.
Right. Well, it's crazy you mentioned motorcycles. The Heather, I did she was like maybe 2 or 3 interviews ago, but
Yeah,
she was talking about motorcycles too.
true.
Yeah,
Where,
I
where,
never really did them. What'd you say?
where's she from?
She from Philly.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I never really did it. But you mentioned like hiking and sports and stuff and video games. Like
Yeah,
that's all pretty much shit that I'm into. So
yeah.
that's tough. Um,
It's fun. It's fun. It's dangerous though.
yeah. No, certain things that's kind of what keep me off of the motorcycles
Yeah.
because people don't pay attention. So
Nah, yeah.
you on that joint, you gotta be watching for everybody else too. You know what
Yep.
I'm
That's how you gotta ride like that. They say that ride like you're invisible.
saying?
So no- yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna get into your story now. Let me see. All right. So starting off with like what you do, for how long, and if you feel comfortable, salary range. Some people
Okay.
can't say it. Some people don't feel comfortable. So like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
So right now I'm a software developer, a .NET developer. If
Mm.
y'all know what that is. Yeah, software developer. I've been doing that for this 2 years now. Before that, I was doing like a kind of hybrid thing. Where I was like support, software development, and implementations, like and trainings and stuff like that. But not like strictly software development. I've been doing for like 2 years
Mm.
now. .NET specifically, like C# and stuff, SQL. Um, I forget what would you say after that.
A salary if you feel comfortable.
Oh yeah, so I just got a new job,
Oh, all
and like
right.
right now I make around 110. They just gave me,
Mm.
yeah, 110 a year. Um, yeah, just got that a month ago when you saw that Instagram post.
Yeah. So
Yeah, October.
so you started here a month ago. Where were you before that?
I was doing software, it's the same thing basically at a different
Mm.
company. It was like a fingerprint company. They collect like if you get hired for a job, you
Yeah.
would them and they'll fingerprint you or take your picture like to verify you can work or whatever.
Mm.
Um, so I was doing that there, and it was just like that was a waste of time, honestly.
So were you like coding or anything? Were you just
Yeah,
like
I was doing the same thing, but it was just like it was so like it was like mean. It was like simple like menial like tasks. Like it was just so
I
it
see.
wasn't engaging. I wasn't learning anything. Like it was just
Yeah.
dumb. Like it was. I don't know. I felt like it was a waste of time, honestly.
How long were you doing that?
2 years. So
3 years?
no, two.
Oh, 2 years? You
Yeah,
did say that. You said all right. So
yeah,
that was .NET and stuff.
yeah. That was .NET. But it was mostly like the back end, like just C#,
Yeah.
SQL, um, a little bit of like JavaScript and stuff.
Do you prefer like front end to back end or?
I like the back end because it's like it makes more sense because like you see the data, and then it's like you
Right.
can program. But the front end's cooler because you can actually see like the result like
Yeah.
immediately.
Like in real time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like earlier or yesterday, I had to update a web page, the
Mm.
web page, um, And like I saw as I was making changes, I built, I compiled the code, and it was there's my changes, and
Yeah.
I finally finished it and stuff. So
So
I like doing both. I like doing both.
your job now is more front end or back end, or is it like are you completely full stack basically?
Yeah, it's full stack. So
Okay.
their main product is like a web page.
Mm,
So and obviously like everything's connected to like the SQL.
yeah.
So it's yeah, it's full stack. But I like that because it's like before I was doing mostly back end,
Right.
and now I'm doing more front end, which is enjoy. It's like it's more fun.
Yeah, I feel like with the front end you get to be a little more creative.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if they not give you like a wireframe or nothing, you could just
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of just try stuff out.
yeah,
But
yeah,
also being full stack, it gives you the ability to you might do a little database stuff, do some
yeah,
documentation, do some back end, do some front end. Like I feel like it's a lot more variety, so it
yeah. It's
changes
mixed.
up
Yeah,
a little bit.
because
So do
I
you?
like doing people and JavaScript. It's a little confusing because I'm like more new at it, but
Right.
like it's nice to switch it up.
Do you feel like at your last job you were you said it felt like kind of like monotonous, like you just kind of doing the same thing over. So
Yeah,
do you feel like if you had more variety there, you would have been able to maybe stay longer or like have
yeah,
just enjoy it more?
yeah, definitely. Because I feel like that job was easy one, and like it was fully remote.
Mm.
So like honestly, like there was days where I was sitting here doing nothing because like I did it so quick, I had nothing to do.
Yeah.
Um, and like the benefits were good.
Mm.
Um, so it was just really just like the work itself was boring. But yeah, if I had a variety instead of like every time I had to do a task, it was just like it was basically copy and pasting something and then like change.
Mm. Yeah. Just yeah.
It would take me like less. It would take me like literally like I would sit around all day and then like the last 2 hours and it'd be done.
No, because like, especially if you redoing a lot of the same stuff, all you gonna
Yeah,
do is leverage the old code. Like, why like, what are you
yeah.
rewriting
I'm
it for? You know what I'm saying?
engineer.
So, damn,
That's,
that's crazy to think about because you were comfortable. You said it was remote. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It was a
you,
while. I was like, damn. Like I was like, damn. Should I get a new job or should I just stay here? Because like I'm basically getting paid to do like not
yeah,
like normal. So, but eventually I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Like I'm sitting around all day. Like I feel bored. Like
mm-hmm,
feel like I'm wasting my day because I'm like sitting around just like tied to this computer or whatever. Like
yeah,
sometimes I go out and take the computer with me because like why not? But
right.
I don't know. I just want to do something like more engaging.
So,
I,
is your job now like hybrid or are
yeah.
you going?
So they said we can go fully remote. Since I just started, they want me to like go in the office.
Mm-hmm,
Um, I guess starting out. But they said like once I catch up, I can go fully remote.
mm-hmm.
But I probably just like I guess I'm tired of being home and I'm
Yeah.
bored. So I kind of like going in the office. I go like once a week now.
Mm.
Like, day. So
Yeah, if I could do like I go 3 days. If I could do like
uh,
2 days, I think that would be like the sweet spot.
what are your 3 days?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So at least I get
Okay.
kind of that long weekend kind of feel a
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, if I could do like 1 or 2 days, that would be
Yeah.
clutch.
If you had to pick 2 days, which two would you pick?
Probably Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay.
What day do you usually go in?
Tuesday, and then I tell myself Thursday, but when Thursday comes around, I'm like,
You're not.
like today.
Yeah.
Because I gotta get this. It's like 45 minutes away, and
Oh,
I gotta
okay,
like
yeah.
it's at 8, so I gotta get up early.
Oh
So I'm
yeah.
like,
See, I moved closer to my job because I didn't want to have to commute. That was
yeah,
like the one thing I'm like, I cannot do this.
yeah.
Um,
It's just, especially when you leave and you get in rush hour.
right. That's what I'm saying. Hold on real quick. Let me this shit caught up in the cord. Got a lot going on over here. All right. But no, it's cool because we was talking about how like recently I was talking to somebody else about how working remotely because before the job I got now, I was working remote. I was
Yeah.
comfortable, but it was like you said, it wasn't as fulfilling. And then there was also a contract, so
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't getting as many benefits and everything.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that you bring up the fulfillment aspect of it because I'm sure you were getting good money. You're getting paid to basically like do nothing,
Yeah.
copy a little code, whatever. But I think it's important to talk about how a challenge or like uh just being able to learn, like doing
Yeah.
actual stuff on the job is just as important as like getting paid well and having like a good, work balance or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like otherwise you're kind of wasting like,
Right.
hey, like you're not like what you're doing that's productive. I don't know.
Right, exactly. No,
You got
I like that you brought that up. All right, so you did that for 2 years. You got this new job. So what were you doing before that? Because you graduated 2018, right? So
yeah. So I graduated 2018. I didn't get a job till like June 2019,
mm,
and it was like it's called a technical support rep,
mm,
something like that.
mm,
Um, so it's basically like doing like IT support. Like somebody called in, like, oh, we got a problem with this app. Help them on the or whatever. And then mostly like most of it was whenever we had a new customer, I would go like remote into their server, install
mm,
our software, make sure it's all set up, like the databases, um, and whatever, like the website, all that stuff, make sure it's set up and working.
mm.
And I go on site and train them how to use. It was a iPod app, so I go on site to train them like on how to use it, um, and make sure everything's going fine. And then like a smaller portion was like doing development, so like actually
Okay.
working. Some like I had to do a couple interface or two, but we had a new customer. It was like it wasn't much, but it was like a little bit. It was enough, I guess. It got me my job, so you know, it was enough.
So out of school, you said you didn't get that until June of 2019.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
wasn't looking until after I graduated. My fault.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't looking until after I graduated. And then like once I graduated, like December. Actually, it was like January. That's when I started
Mm.
looking for it, and I didn't get one until like June, the end of June. I got that one.
Okay, I mean that's not bad. Those were like 6 months, 5 months.
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah.
Um, so did you? Well, for one, did you feel prepared coming out of school to going into work?
Man, hell no, because I feel like it's different. It's and like all the stuff I learned, that was like years before. Like
Right.
you know how we first started out, we learned like Java, and then we learned
Mm-hmm.
C++ and all that stuff. Like, and then later on we had the more advanced courses. And I feel like, especially when you're doing interviews, they're asking you all the stuff from like the early on. It's like a college test, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like asking you all these questions. I'm like, I don't know, and then like you gotta apply that. But like I just like for me, it's just like, oh, like that was so long ago, and I haven't really used it because like
Right.
it wasn't necessary. So yeah, it was at first it was a little hard
So,
trying to get all that knowledge back.
all right. Before we move on, though, I do want to know. All right. Like you said, the knowledge thing, right? Because out of school, I went into a boot camp because I didn't feel prepared.
Yeah.
So, did you start studying or something, or did you just like keep
Nah. So
applying?
well, before I got the job.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, honestly, I was just like whatever. Like I'm gonna get. I was kind of. I think there's a couple of code tests I had to do. So like for those, I had to study a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
interviews and stuff. But that was really it. Like I wasn't really doing much else. I probably should have, but yeah, I didn't.
And my last question about this is, do you said you didn't start applying until after school. Do you wish or think that you should have started a little sooner?
Yeah, for sure. Because I wanted to give myself a little break, but like I could have
Yeah.
gave myself a break while applying.
Right,
Like
right, right.
this starting in January or February. So yeah, because I ideally I would have started maybe like February or March,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I should have definitely applied soon.
I mean, that's why I like doing this, John, because it show like everybody's path is different.
Yeah,
But the
sure.
fact that she was able to get a job 6 months out of school is uh, a great feat in itself. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because
I know.
a lot of people don't even get jobs, get it in their fields, or it might take forever.
Yeah,
So, no, that's what's
I
up.
know. It's crazy out here these days.
Right. uh,
Yeah.
all right. So we're gonna get into what or who first got you interested in tech. Um, yeah.
So I guess like growing up, I've always been like interested in video games,
Mm-hmm.
computers, phones, especially phones, like smartphones.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess like growing up, I was always interested in that stuff. I was always like the tech guy. Every time somebody had a problem with something, the family,
Yeah.
oh, fix this, blah blah, something wrong with it.
Right.
So I guess naturally, I always had like that growing up, or
Mm-hmm.
that like, interest. Um, and then like when my dad was talking to me like, oh, what are you gonna do after high school, blah blah blah, and he's always like, and I was like, oh, I guess I could be a developer, or I could do like I was thinking about software development because like we get paid good. So that was another reason.
So did you all right, my fault. It's kind of like everybody I talk to has had some type of like early interest in like tech or something,
Uh,
and it kind of like came natural to them, right?
yeah.
So you became like the go-to person for the family and everything. Did that come from like your parents putting you on the stuff, or was it just like as soon as you got the device, you were like, "How does this thing work?" Like, was it
Yeah.
like
So
more you being like inquisitive?
yeah. So like, so I'm one of those people that, like, when I get something new, like I go through the settings on like
Oh,
YouTube,
right.
and I want to know how everything works.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess like doing that, like I always had a Game Boy, a DS. Like
Mm,
I got one of those, I'm making sure like I'm checking everything.
yeah.
Um, and growing up, we had a computer, so like I was always on there playing games, and like down, my brothers used to like, well, we used to download music, and we used to download music back in the day.
Right.
So like I was always on there doing it for my, downloading my stuff. So yeah, I guess I just always, I guess since starting out young, I always had that.
Yeah. One thing I'm noticing is like it's a common theme of like early exposure,
Yeah.
and for you, it's like that exposure plus the curiosity to want to
Hmm.
explore more with this stuff. That's pretty cool. So, did you have any classes or anything in high school for like computers, or anything?
I think I took it was some kind of, well, I took Photoshop class,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was another class. It was like something design. Honestly, I couldn't. We were learning about. It was like it might have been more of an engineering class um, than a computer class.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my high school didn't really might not have offered that many like computer stuff. But that one class I had, it was either engineering or it was like some kind of computer thing, but I forget what it was. It was like
Mm-hmm.
something. It might have been graphic design or something like that. I don't remember what it was. But I do remember being in that class and we would have Halo downloaded and we
Yeah.
would play. Yeah.
The my fault. My high school gave us laptops. We used to be in
Uh-huh.
it was this junk called Urban Terror or some shit like that.
Okay.
We would get on the LAN, so it's like the local network,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we just be playing. It was no lag playing that joint. We was playing Halo.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good day.
But yeah, it seemed like a common theme is either like early exposure or like something in high school where it kind of clicked for somebody that this is what I want to do going into college. So you came into college as a computer science major.
Yeah, so I guess the way I originally was gonna do engineering, my dad was always telling me to go engineering, be an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be like what kind of engineer did I want it to be? I think I want to be like an electrical engineer, some kind of one of those engineers.
Right.
I don't know. My dad was saying like whatever to be an engineer, so I was like, all right, I'll be an engineer. But when I went to like when I went to pick a major for the first school that I went to,
Mm-hmm.
I started at college. I started at a JUCO because they gave me a full track scholarship.
Right. Okay.
So when I went to like sign up, they didn't have any engineering majors. So I was like, oh shit, I got to pick something. And I was like, oh, I saw computer science basically, and I was like, oh, I like computers, and I just picked it.
And just like, yeah.
And then I enjoyed the classes. Like I had fun. There was like some networking classes, and I was when I first learned programming and stuff. Like it was cool. So I guess since then, like after that, I enjoyed it, and I wanted to stick with it, going forward.
Damn, I kind of want to get into your school stuff, but I do have one more question before that.
Mhm.
Actually, no, it sounded like something along these lines was always in your plan, whether it's gonna be engineering or software engineering, like some
Yeah.
level of that, like problem solving
Yep.
using technology, along those lines. So, all
Yeah.
right, all right, so we can move past that, John. So, getting into your school, you mentioned you went to a JUCO.
Yeah.
Uh, you did what, 2 years there?
No, I did 1 year,
One year?
and then I transferred to ESU,
Mm.
and like I took a semester off between, and I transferred to ESU.
What made you pick ESU?
Honestly, they had an indoor track,
Yeah.
and that's really the only that was the main reason. And
Mm.
what too, and they had an indoor track,
Mm.
so that
Did
was like,
you
oh, I was like, oh.
did you get a scholarship for ESU?
Not when I first went there. So when I first transferred, I didn't, but then I think the year after that, I did.
Oh,
It
that's
wasn't.
chill.
It wasn't for much. It
Um,
was like maybe 2,000 a semester, or yeah, 2,000 a semester.
I mean, I guess every little bit help. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it's better than nothing.
Um, so you came there, and I'm assuming you transferred as a computer science major.
Yeah, so I transferred all my credits transferred over, but some of them were transferred over as like I don't know generic classes or something like that.
That's it, yeah.
Um, yeah, so I mean, I probably ended up having to take. That's probably why I was there for an extra year.
Did you end
Um,
up do a majoring or minoring or anything?
yeah, so I did computer science, and they were like, computer security is like 4 extra classes.
Yeah,
So yeah, I did both,
yeah, me too.
and I I could have had the math minor if I took like, Calc 3,
Yeah, one more
but
class.
I wasn't. Yeah, one class, but
You should have did it.
man, what it was like, I took Calc 2, and I feel like that was so hard. I forget who I had, but like I feel like that was hard, and like the time I would have took Calc 3 was like years later. It's like
Mm.
1 or 2 years later. So it's like I'm like it wasn't fresh in my mind. So it's like there's no way I'm gonna pass this.
All right, that makes sense. You probably had the one bull. I don't want to say too much, but his class was drawn. I did end up getting them. I ended up getting the math minor and the Spanish minor randomly.
Oh really? That's
Yeah,
cool.
but it's
Spanish.
crazy. We both dual major too, and I feel like we how did we not have any classes together?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't
I never saw you in the building either.
understand.
Remember uh man, I forget his name. That's crazy.
Was he the
Did you have a class with the dude with the
the
security class where you got to hack each other's computer?
talking about Joshin?
Yes, Joshin.
Yeah, yeah, we had
Yeah,
that John. Yeah, we
yeah,
had like the virtual machine on there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we did that. John.
I was just telling somebody about that the other day. How we were supposed to like get the file from whatever is in that file from somebody else's
Mm-hmm.
computer. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, stuff like that was pretty cool. I ended up
Yeah,
not wanting to do security because it was kind of boring. So it's interesting
yeah.
that you did the same thing. So what made you pick science or computer science over computer security?
Honestly, I feel like security is like a lot of like policy and paperwork.
Mm.
Because like I take one of those classes, like one of the security classes, and I think it was the one about like it was with Joshin as well. It was about
Mm-hmm.
like it was a security admission or something like that. It
Mm-hmm.
was about all the paperwork and like those acts that the government passed back in
Just reading
2000.
like the cases and stuff, the
Yeah,
different court cases and all that.
yeah, different court cases. We talk
Yeah.
about how the Patriot Act came about, and just like that, and as well like just like the other security class where with Kim.
Kim, I love Kim. Yo.
And I don't know. Those were like they weren't really interesting to me, so I was like, eh.
Right.
Plus, it just seems complicated. I don't know.
Yeah, that one class, that was one of the few classes I got like I think I got a D in that John. By the time I
Yeah,
retook it, I was good at it because I had did it already. But like, yeah, his class
I had
was
to
hard
retake
as
that class
hell.
too. Yeah,
Yo, that shit was so hard.
and
But
I think I retook it, and I feel like I barely passed
me
the
too.
second time.
But the second time I did better because I had basically all the answers. Like this, it's changed a little
Yeah,
bit, but like, it was like the same stuff. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's how.
them classes,
Uh,
it was like a lot of monitoring and like setting up stuff and then just watching for vulnerabilities and shit like that. It just wasn't like fun to me. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it's not.
So it's crazy that
Uh,
we both got the same job, but then ended up leaning more towards the computer science. So
the one I did like for security was crypto. I think
yeah,
I don't know if that's part of it,
crypto.
and the database stuff.
hmm
I think that was part of it.
I think it was cool to learn and to like know now, but what I'm saying, it's not something I would want to do. My one man though, he does that like that's his job. He love that shit.
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
used to
do it.
like I don't know if you ever did this like setting up networks with like setting up the subnet or whatever like
hmm
10.2.168
Yeah.
having to set up whatever networks. But
hmm
that's like that was like basic stuff.
Yeah, if I want to do it, I'm gonna try to do that shit for fun or something. But like, I couldn't do it for it. So like, so what do you do now when you want to learn something new? Like, where do you go for that?
Man, so I was trying to learn Swift to make
Mm-hmm.
like a Apple iOS app,
Mm-hmm.
and I found like a little guide online, I guess from Apple.com. Um, But honestly, for me, it's like easier to just reverse engineer the code
Mm.
if I want to learn something. I mean, as well as like I guess I've watched a couple of videos, like the instructional videos or like whatever trainings.
Hmm.
I think like at my job they give me this Pluralsight.
Yeah,
Uh,
Pluralsight.
so I mean, those help, especially when you're like you don't know what the hell's going on. But usually,
Right.
honestly, I really just Google Stack Overflow.
Yeah, Stack Overflow. For
That's
real.
usually trying to do something like that's how I learn it.
Mm.
By you looking at the code or going on Stack Overflow, seeing how to do something.
Nah, that's cool. I rarely hear people say that they like reverse engineer or like look at the code and stuff. So would you
Mhm.
like go through a site and be like, all right, they probably to use this for this and like that?
Well, so I guess I mean like if I'm looking at something related to work. So like there was a time at my old job they had me looking at the Angular code. So I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to see that what the heck.
What was
Um,
that?
it was like a little thumbs up. That was weird.
I didn't even know
You
this
know, have
joint. I don't know what that
uh,
was.
um, yes, I was looking at the Angular code and like I was kind of like seeing how it works and kind of like how calls are made. Same with like when I was learning the iOS thing, like they had gave you an example and I
Mm-hmm.
kind of just took that and then like kind of like read through the code to see like how things were done. Uh, yeah, I guess for me, I like to just actually try it out
Yeah.
instead of you know watching a video and then just reading about it and then I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just try it out, see how it works, and then like now I know
No, I
if I
feel
want
that.
to do this.
I like that. I'm the same way. Like even if I got a video on, I need to have that joint open for me because if I'm
Yeah,
just watching, I'm not going to remember none of that. Like I learned it
yeah,
best by like trying to get my hands dirty. Like I got to try it out.
yeah, for sure.
That's why I be telling people like if you're gonna do this, like just do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Yeah,
gotta overthink it. Just code
you
something, like
want to practice.
follow
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
there's websites you can go on and like learn SQL or even C#. You put part of the statement in. All you gotta do is add in the little statement, and
Hmm.
it'll
Yeah. It's so many
you
resources out here. That's why I like asking people like where do you go to get knowledge now? Because like
a lot of times I end up on W3 schools.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah. It's
got
just
all
pretty.
the good ones.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, bet. So this is my favorite question. As you said you're black and Rican, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess both my parents are Puerto Rican, but like I feel like I'm a black man, but I'm Puerto Rican. I
Okay.
guess I don't know.
All right, got
Black.
you. So in that aspect, what has your experience been like? As a person of your race.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like I'm always seen as the black guy, um, especially at work.
Mm,
Um, so and usually I'm the only one. But I mean, luckily, like my first job, I was the only black guy. But like they were cool. They were cool most of the time. Like I never really had any issues with them. I always felt like towards the end it got a little weird.
mm,
But yeah, like I always felt for the most part, I never nothing really ever happened where I was like, oh, like it made me feel uncomfortable. But
that's
it,
good.
it always it's always in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And even now, like in my current job, like I think I'm the only black person now, or the only black person I see.
Mm,
Because I think there's other ones, but they're remote. Um, so yeah, I mean, it definitely it's like in the back of my mind, but I mean, it's not really like something it's affected me, I guess.
right. No, I agree. It's not like it. I mean, I've had experiences and stuff like little micromanages, microaggressions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But like you said, it's just kind of like in the back of your head. It'll be like random times you're like, oh, I'm really the only nigga in this joint. Like,
yeah, yeah.
it's just
And
like the most random times.
I wonder if they would say that if I wasn't here or if I was
Right.
white.
Right.
Or whatever they are. But yeah, I
It's
mean,
kind of. What'd you say?
yeah, I never really had any like bad experiences though.
No, that's good.
Luck, luck.
It's still kind of. I mean, just those little thoughts, though. You know what I'm saying? Like just little stuff that other people might not have to think about or won't think
Mm.
about. You know what I'm saying? Just
I
like I
definitely,
said. Go ahead.
I definitely feel like I gotta like not be on my best behavior, but like actually like not fuck around
Mm,
just because like being the only non being like the only non-white person.
right.
I feel like I feel like I might have a shorter leash. Not that
Mm,
I ever like experienced anything like that, but I just feel that's just how you feel, I guess. Well,
no,
I feel.
that's kind of crazy. Cause I did have to reach a point. Like now, I'm on my like no code switching. Like I'm just going. You're gonna
Yeah,
take me as I am. If I feel like
yeah,
throwing my hoodie on, laying back in my chair and coding, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be
right.
nice and comfy right here in this chair. I'm gonna talk how I talk. You know what I'm saying? I'll cut back on the slang and like certain stuff that
Yeah,
people might not understand. Because I work with a lot of people from like India and stuff like that. So then they might not get exactly the American slang or like the black slang or whatever. But
hmm
yeah, for the most part, now in my career, I'm like, y'all gonna take me as I
yeah,
am for real. Like,
yeah. I agree because
but
I feel like especially nowadays it's getting more like there's more people coming into the field,
yeah,
and I guess people are more understanding and stuff. So
hmm but no, it's definitely interesting. You brought up like the um, I don't know how to put it, but kind of like how you said where you just you just watch yourself a little bit more because you don't
mhm.
want to be perceived a certain way or
Right,
looked at a certain way or whatever. So it's just always like those just it's that little stuff that you got to think about.
yeah,
I think.
yeah. For me, it's like I kind of want to set a good example so that if the next person that gets hired, maybe they consider,
Mm,
another, somebody that looks like me as well.
mm.
Um,
That's ass though. Like it was times where I felt like I
yeah,
had to be like the ambassador or like the the advocate for other black people. Like
yeah,
and then I don't know. I just had to get to a point because I feel like I was like overthinking certain stuff or whatever. So I just had to get to a point where I'm just like it's whatever. You know what I'm saying?
and
But
for me, I don't know if you're gonna ask me this later, but like my first job, it was involving jails, so I had to
mm,
go. When I was training people in site, I would have to go into the jail and
mm,
train the officers. So like me being a young black man and going into a jail to sell like them software, like which is helping them like keeping the
yeah,
inmates. I
yeah,
don't know. I kind of felt weird about it after a point, and that was like after COVID hit and all that stuff, and like everybody was the riots and all that stuff. Like
mm,
yeah, after
damn.
a while, I don't know. It felt
I didn't
weird, I
really,
guess.
I didn't really think about that. How like the work you do could impact certain stuff, and then socially you might have to have like a dilemma there a little bit.
hmm Yeah,
Damn.
because I'm walking in there and I'm just like, oh, like I'm selling them software that's helping them, manage it.
Mm,
Not that it matters, because like they're gonna do whatever anyway. But
yeah.
I don't know, the stuff I think about because I be overthinking everything.
That's what I'm saying. Just like those little, like all those little thoughts, they just add up.
Yeah,
Stuff that like other people probably wouldn't think about. So yeah, that's kind of
right.
crazy. Damn. Um. All right. Yeah. So kind of, I guess a little bit going off of that in your career or like in your journey in general. What adversities or obstacles have you had to overcome?
I
Throughout.
guess the worst is like bad bosses. That's really
Mm,
like what I can tell you the most. Like
mm,
shitty bosses, and that's the reason I left my last two jobs.
mm.
Um, that's honestly the biggest thing.
So in
That's the
what
one
way
thing I
would you say is like micromanaging or like
micromanaging. That's the worst of it. Micromanaging. I feel like not having respect for my time.
mm,
I feel like after a while, it's like I realized that like I don't need to try to tailor to them. Like they're paying me, so like I can do my job whenever like I do my job. Like I don't need to
right.
do it like So like, somebody doesn't have to micromanage me and tell me to do this thing at this time unless it's like something urgent. But like
Mm,
like I hate the like oh you can't take days off, you can't take PTO or that's the
mm.
same. But yeah, but for micromanaging for sure is the main reason I left my last two because they're just like constant checking out. It's like, can I do my work?
And that
Yeah.
you were sorry, my fault. Go ahead.
Not good. I was done. Good.
You were remote at these joints, right?
No, the first one I was in, it was in office.
All right, you were
That was in 2019 before like everybody
right,
went remote.
right.
But when when COVID hit, we were remote, and then they tried to put forces back in the office. Um, so it was like a hybrid thing.
So do you feel like the micromanaging started remotely or more
Yeah,
so in office?
it started remotely. A couple months after COVID, they hired like a new manager.
Okay.
Then she ended up getting fired. But yeah, yeah, it's funny. It was crazy. But yeah, then they hired a couple months later. They hired another manager. And I feel like they hired her solely to manage us, which like they used to have a developer,
hmm
like a lead developer, and like
hmm
they whoever below, but she wasn't a developer. She was literally just a manager for us.
Was she like a a product owner or something, or was she just?
Oh, she was literally I when I tell you I feel like she was just a middleman, like literally, because she would just talk to the vice president. He would tell her what to say, and then she would repeat the same. She would copy and paste whatever he said and just say it to us. She had no idea about like the code, what our software even did. Like she never learned it. She was really just there to tell us what to do, based off what he said.
What? Yeah.
Yeah,
I ain't never,
it's
I ain't never heard of nothing like that. Like what?
bro. Imagine that, like you're there for what 2 years, like half the most of the stuff how everything works, and then this
And then
random
somebody new
person's
come
coming.
in and just like what?
And you got to teach them how everything works, but then they're telling you like how to do certain things or what to do, like when they don't even know themselves. Is
Was it a small company or something?
Yeah, it was a small company.
I've never heard of
There's
anything
probably
like that.
I think it was like less than 20 employees total.
All right, okay. That I'm like just talking to the vice president,
Yeah,
like you said, usually it's like a tech lead, and then you know what I'm saying you got your team, you might have a product owner or something like that, and it's like this is what we're working on. This is our sprint. This is what what we trying to accomplish.
right.
But to have somebody coming in and trying to I can see how that would be an obstacle for like what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
So
I
how'd
feel like
you
he stuff. He could have told us directly.
right? So
Uh,
how'd you deal with it? I mean, other than dipping, but like at the time, how'd
um,
you deal with it?
I would just try to keep her happy, I guess. So she would the one thing she annoyed me the most with was like I'd get an email right, and I guess she'd be CC'd on it, and then like literally 2 minutes later she'd be like, "Oh, someone just sent you an email, blah blah. Like make sure you reply and CC me or something." I'm like, "Okay, like I saw the email." Um, so like if she did something like that, I'd just be like, "Okay, like I got it, I'm on it," or I guess try to like communicate with her more. But then really like I don't remember.
I feel like
I
that shit
just
would drive me
remember,
crazy.
yeah, bro, it was so annoying. It was so annoying.
Like
But
what?
I guess I was trying to keep her happy until like I left, basically.
Hmm.
Like I knew I wasn't gonna deal with that.
Yeah, that I don't even know how I would do it.
Yeah, it was
So like just got the email. Hey, let me send you a message to tell you about the email that I know you see. Like
right.
come on, bro.
Like I seen it, bro.
I hate shit like that. But
And she would always be like, "Oh, do this and then report back your findings." I'm like, "Okay."
damn. So I was talking about this with somebody about how the work, liking I don't say liking, but like enjoying who you work with or having good work relationships to an extent. Um, it's just as important as like what we were saying before, like the how much you getting paid and the work you're
Mhm.
actually doing and shit like that. So like the manager, the job could be cool, the product could be great, but the manager can make you like really hate a job, and that's crazy.
Facts. 'Cause you gotta deal with them
Yeah.
every day.
Right. Damn. No, that's a good obstacle to bring up though. I'm glad you said that. All right, so let's get into this next John. You've been at this job for a month now. You got, you know, a good amount of years of experience under your belt. So where do you see yourself going 5 years, 10 years, 20+ years from
I guess eventually, I haven't figured that out yet,
now?
but I eventually I want to make an app.
Mm,
Just I just say I made an app. Um, Whether or not I end up like actually starting something off that, I guess we'll see. But I
mm,
just want to make say I made it. Um,
excuse me.
but I feel like I'd say like as of right now, I just see myself developing somewhere, just like learning as much as I can
Mm.
um, until I decide I want to do something else.
And inside of tech, or like just venture out somewhere completely different? Because you got a lot of
Probably inside.
interests. So
How?
so you got a lot of interests, a lot of stuff you
Yeah,
can get
yeah,
into.
that's true. I mean, I don't know. I probably stay inside tech, but I mean, I guess you never know. Maybe I have a change of heart, or maybe something else will pop up, and I'll try to do that. But I mean, I guess I just feel like I have so much time invested in this
Yeah,
that I might as well stay in it
yeah,
until it doesn't make sense to anymore.
right, right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like before, when I was saying my previous job, I was like, oh, I'm basically getting paid to do nothing. So like,
can you
like
still
if that's it,
can you still hear me?
yeah, your video cut out though.
Yeah, some dumb shit. All right, yeah, we wrapping up though. So I'm trying to turn this one back on. You said yeah, you talking about an app. Do you think you could see yourself like making an app related to like some of the stuff that you're interested in, or getting into like game development too?
I did honestly, I've always wanted to do video game development, but I don't know, man. I guess I'm just worried that I won't be able to understand it, or I won't be able to get it, or it's gonna be too complicated or something. Um, but I feel like if I were to make an app, it would probably be. So I've always thought about making a budgeting app because I've always wanted a budgeting app, and I feel like all the apps out there don't really have what I want.
Mm,
Um, so I guess I mean I probably would it would make more sense to do something that's interesting.
mm,
Well, one of my interests.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I
Nah,
guess once I finally make one, I guess I see what that process is like.
well, what I've gotten from like your mindset and everything, I feel like if you did the game, the app, either thing, you would be successful at it because it seemed like you
Yeah,
got like that hunger to like not only learn but like want to be good at shit too. So
yeah.
no, I feel like you
I
got
agree.
that.
Thank
So for sure, last part of this piece, I mentioned like 20 years or something like that. What does retirement look like for you? Um,
you. In what way?
and like so, like for me, I can still see myself maybe consulting or like doing maybe like shit like this or coding on the side. So like, do you see yourself?
So I see myself honestly doing stuff like this, like
Mm,
little things. Um, Maybe like I feel like I would still want to do some development, but like very little, like minor things or
mm,
something like if I'm so interested in doing something, either that or kind of like I really don't want to be a manager. Like I see what they go through and like that shit does not look fun. It doesn't
right.
sound fun. Um, yeah, so I guess either like doing something that or maybe overseeing it, not managing. But I guess overseeing something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like if I could just like work on a little bit of code here and there, I feel like I would be happy.
Yeah. So you don't really see yourself like ever just kind of completely stopping it.
No, honestly, I'm really interested in like people be 3D printing stuff and like
Mm,
machines and I don't know. I kind
yeah.
of want to do something like that. So I feel like I would end up trying to do something like that. Like I'm interested in like software, how software interacts with hardware.
Mm.
Um, so I'll do try to do something like that.
Nah, I love that. It seemed like everybody I talked to, they got like that early start, and then it just seemed like it's gonna go forever. Like even if I
Yeah,
didn't code for a living, like it's something I'm gonna be doing with this stuff. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I think that's pretty cool. All right. So these last two things I've been like combining them lately. So what tips do you have for somebody that's trying to either be a dev or like going through something similar that you might have went through, and just kind of like your parting words or like your final words for
Tips I have would be to if you're a dev, then like practice. I guess practice development, making things, adding things, because that's essentially what these jobs are. And the more you do it, the more it's going to be ingrained in your brain. And when they ask you to interview questions that are like college tests, they're going to be like, oh, you're gonna know it. And when it's time for you to do something, you're going to already know how to do it,
right.
without having to refresh your memory. Um, that, and I guess be careful with what you like, the job you pick. Um, I feel like I kind of just went. I mean, I feel like it worked out. I kind of just went like the first job I was offered. But if you have options, like pick the product that's more interesting. The manager that might be more interested. The manager that might seem nicer, because that's gonna matter more than how much you're getting paid or whatever other factor you're trying to weigh. Like what you're working on and who you're working with. Like we mentioned earlier. Like
Yeah.
if you have that, like you're gonna be happy every day. You're not gonna like dread going to work. You'll
Yeah.
you'll enjoy, look forward to. Because I used to look forward to going to my job, my
Yeah.
first one, but not anymore.
this
This one isn't bad.
is what, yeah. But no, that's great advice though. I'm heavy on the just try the shit, like just do it, and
Yeah.
then the the job aspect, like not just jumping on the first opportunity. If you can, what I'm saying. Sometimes you just gotta take
Yeah.
that jump, but like
Yeah.
if you can be a little more picky, what I'm saying, like pick something that better suits you, and then like you said, like who you working with and what like the work that you're actually doing matters. You know what I'm saying? I love that. That's some great advice.
Yeah.
And thank you, bro. I appreciate you taking the time to
Yeah.
do this, John.
Thank you for having me.
For
It's
sure.
cool.
For sure. I'm glad we
I
finally
never.
got to do it.
What do you do? You're a software developer.
Yeah. I'm a dev too. So I've been
What do y'all do? What do you work on? Like what language?
um mostly Java. Well, I've been doing like more full stack now. That's what I've been trained in. So Java, Angular, CSS,
Oh,
HTML stuff,
yeah.
TypeScript,
Okay.
some not really too much SQL stuff, but like
Uh,
dealing with the database and everything.
yeah.
And then this job now has me doing a lot more, which I don't mind. So like making docs and like testing docs, regression stuff.
Okay.
Um, I created a web app that like automates this process that we have to do. So I made like a lot of docs around that and like a lot of like
Yeah.
I did like demos and shit. I love this job, bro. Like
Yeah.
the
That's
stuff
good.
I'm doing now, it's been really like we talking about the fulfillment of it. I feel like I'm really learning and like enjoying what I do at this joint.
Yeah. How long you been
But
there?
um, like a year and a half basically,
Okay.
and then like before that, I was doing like a lot of little contracts.
Yeah.
So my contract before this, like I said, I was comfortable. That joint was remote. The pay was all right. I think I was getting like 50 an hour. I think at that joint.
Yeah.
So like the pay was all right. You know what I'm saying? Remote job. Mostly UI work. I think that joint was, and then it was all right. But then I got this opportunity. I took the interview on a whim. Ended up taking that joint.
Mm.
Um, the other one of the other contracts I had though, they had me like up until like 2 in the morning. I was drawn, bro. That joint was remote too.
Yeah.
But like,
Working.
yeah, I was drawn. I was I was
Uh,
I was tripping for even allowing myself to do that shit. But
yeah.
but yeah, that's why I'm glad you brought up like picking a job and like what I'm saying, like being a little more picky because I did a lot of little contracts. I did some that I loved, some that was like terrible. But
Yeah.
that gaining that experience, allowed me to know like what I like to do and shit. So, but yeah, that's what I've been doing for like I graduated 2017. I did a boot camp, and then I've been working since October 2017. So I got like 6 years. What year are we now? Yeah, like 6 years.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Is self development each? Oh my god. Development since then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Okay.
the boot camp they trained us in like all the stuff I use now, Angular, everything, like all the
Yeah.
full stack stuff. And then like AWS type stuff. And
Okay.
then the contracts was like, what'd you say?
I said it's good. Everybody wants that nowadays.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
like the contracts varied though. Some stuff was just Java, some stuff was more front end.
Uh,
Um, I never really got to do too much .NET or C Sharp.
you're not missing much.
I,
Yeah. Nah.
I do want to like. I mean, it's still object oriented, right? So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's pretty similar. But
It's yeah. I mean, honestly, I knew Java and I knew C++,
mm,
and I don't remember C sharp. You had the one little class on C sharp, like the
mm,
programming language class.
yeah,
But like, it's really the same thing. It's. I just like I hopped in the code and I was like, oh, this is how you do this, and
mm.
like it's very similar.
I feel like C plus was harder than C Sharp, right? Because you
I
gotta
think so. Yeah.
allocate for like
That was,
memory and stuff, right?
yeah, and you gotta like create pointers and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I hated C plus.
yeah.
But now I'm definitely trying to do more stuff like that. Not necessarily interview format, but like just having people on and talk to them and stuff. And I mean,
Mhm.
you say you in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
I may have to look at like what city and see like how far you are. Cause like
I'm like Philly.
I'm a little outside of Philly, but
Okay.
how far are you from Philly?
Like 30 minutes.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna have to have you pull up to the gym. We could do something in
Yeah.
person too and shit. But no, this is tough though. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this, John.
Appreciate you.
For sure. So I'm gonna let you know like before I drop and everything. But
Okay.
you got anything else you want to say before I start recording? No. I appreciate this. I'm gonna just sign off. This has been another episode. Yeah, I don't really got too much to say. Y'all be safe.
Take it easy.
Kick it, kick it, kick it, yeah. I'm trying to kick it on some Jet Li.